Well, I was in the Boy Scouts, so we're about to kick some ass. Alright, so let's go. It's a hatter. 1980. It's a Thursday night and Julia's 4 hours late. She doesn't call. You're worried and getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. She's not quite drunk, but she's clearly having a fun time. You fight when she gets between the sheets. Should we get mad or ignore her? I feel like ignoring her is worse than getting mad, right? Like, I feel like that's the worst choice. Because that just builds up, like, rage over time, like a little bit of hostility, which is going to get pent up, and then that's going to burst at some point. So, like, if you just get mad right now, you're in the clear. Like, you just, suck it to her. You call her an inconsiderate asshole. That's not what I said to do. She tells you to fuck yourself. And to not be such a baby. You call her selfish. She knows you mean it, and it hurts her feelings. Oh, man. 1981. Julia still likes to draw. She draws plans from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. You pose and flex like He-Man, or you frolic like a Victoria's Secret model. Yeah, never ignore a girl, right? I totally picked the right choice. Now, calling her a fucking asshole, maybe not the best way to go about it. Pose and flex like He-Man. That's probably... You look awesome. Oh, that's good stuff. I like how he walks with his fists like that. He's like, yeah. Two Forks, fire lookout, 8 miles. (1982). During the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking Bucket at night. There's a festival in town. It brings in folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. I don't want to press A. Guys, do we have to press A? Mars. What? Bucket gets kicked. Baba, fuck the dog, Julia yells. She gets flustered and has trouble speaking when she is stressed. You confront the attacker. You scare him away, you beat his goddamn face in. I don't know, I seem like a pretty tough guy. I think I should beat his face in. Like, Your arm gets cut up, but you beat the guy to a pulp. You don't feel very tough. You cry your eyes out before the cops show up. Julia asks to take a different path from that day forward. You say, okay, you don't want to go that way either. From then on, you walk by the river. 1984. Plans to have kids get waylaid by work. Oh man, pick the wrong choice in the long term. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale is in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job, associate department chair. She wants to move. You absolutely do not. Convince her not to take the job, or agree if she commutes back and forth. This is a tough one. I feel like in real life, I'd probably just go with the commute thing. Like you just try to make things work. Like if you truly love each other, you just make it work. I don't feel very right about like convincing someone not to don't get in the way of someone else's dreams, right? Yeah, like let her take the job, right? Mr. D, he's like, she better not die. You ask her if she'll commute back and forth. You don't want to move to Connecticut. She says that'll be hard, but she'll do it if you won't move. You tell her not to pass it up if it's what she wants. She agrees. She flies back to Boulder 3 times each semester. (1985). Julia is sent home from Yale on paid leave after having an episode. She lost it on a colleague for borrowing books that were important to her research. She didn't remember she had happily loaned them to him just 2 days prior. No! Oh. Okay. She was found crying in the stairwell. You say that maybe you guys should talk to someone about it. You make macaroni and drink wine and try to forget about it. The right one is like the shittiest thing you could pick. Like right there. That's like the worst. I can see that as an option though. It's so terrible. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go with talk to someone about it. After seeing multiple doctors and having many tests, you are worried that Julia might be suffering from early onset dementia. She is 41. You both decide to keep it a secret for now. That's a horrible idea. Why are you making me press A when there's such terrible ideas happening right now? Yeah, like, I don't like this. He's got her journal, I guess. Bucket is getting older. Julia comments that it's kinda nice because he gets in less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to the university. 1987. Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in class. Her research is in shambles. She drives her car to the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by the police. She is devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Some days, you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Other days, you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love. After 5 minutes, she goes into a panic believing her dad is at the door. You tell her family. They are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a while, your friends come by with little things to brighten the day. She gets worse. 1988. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between the 2 weekly visits from Daniel the nurse. He suggests that Julia could live somewhere else, somewhere with 24-hour care, a home. It sits with you for a couple of months. You decide to move her into a full-time care facility. You are determined to take care of her by yourself. Alright, so I had a grandmother that had dementia, and she got it in her 80s, I think. Like right after her husband died. It was so traumatic to her that dementia crept in, and that really got to her, like very quickly. She didn't know who anyone was, and she didn't trust anyone. But then some days she would know who everybody was, and she would be super happy. Is that what this game is about? Oh no, it's turning into Cry Fest 2017. Okay, so what we did was we took care of her until the end of her life. She lived at home with all her daughters and her son, and they took really good care of her because they knew that a facility would not show the same type of love and care that family would show to family. So let's go with that. That's just gut intention right there. This is just kind of the prologue. This is setting up the story, and then after a while we get to start walking, and we start being a park ranger. So right now we're on the way to our tower. Hey, It's an elk. Hey, little guy. Start watching for fires. Time to do our job. It is impossibly hard. The worst is when you get mad at her, like when she tries to cook her own food. You can't do anything without her, and she can't do anything without you. When she goes to sleep, you stay up for a few hours, drinking on the deck, watching baseball in the summer, college basketball in the winter, drinking then too. Start going out after you put her to bed. The first time you do it, you worry about her getting up and walking around while you're gone. I feel like it's good to put a chair in front of the bedroom door if you're going to be irresponsible and leave someone with Alzheimer's alone early on set. Hey, Snarg, man. Thanks for the follow, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you here. You're just in time. It's story time right now. We're setting up the prologue, and then we start playing. You go to the same bar at the boring end of Pearl Street. It's nice there. Over time, you tell Sheila, the bartender, everything. It's a huge weight off. You're home and in bed by 1 a.m. a couple nights a week. You look forward to those nights. 1989. One night, you're stopped at a DUI checkpoint. You blow a .10 and are taken to jail for the night. You consider trying to hide it. You tell your sister-in-law, Susan. Julia's parents take the next plane from Australia. They can't believe the state your house is in. Then they tell you Julia is coming to live with them. You don't argue. You say you'll visit soon. A few weeks go by. Summer is coming, and you see an ad in the paper for a job. You take it. If I cry from this if I cry from this game, admin status revoked. You better strap in, buddy. Cause this game is a ride. It's a ride, start to finish. It's good. There's our tower. It's a ride. Shimba, everything that the light touches is our kingdom. What about that dark shadowy place, Dad? We don't go there. Turn on the power. Huh, that works.
Hello, Two Forks Tower. Two Forks Tower, this is Thoroughfare Tower. Come in.
How do I reply? What's the reply button? I forgot. I can't see. The broadcast info is on there. Okay, you hold left trigger. Okay.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
So, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with
Great
you?
idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
Okay, you're probably out here because nobody back home can stand you, which, after this brief introduction, is not a big shock.